here. Alrighty. Maybe last pre-flight checks. I have my mic that's on. I know I'm recording. I've got video, which I really hope this turns out okay. Because it's webcam video. Please forgive how scuffed this absolutely is. So this is supposed to be the "oh my god, we hit 3,000 subscribers" audio. And I am so just flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted. I had this whole idea that my 2K audio celebration, because I couldn't believe that I'd hit 2,000 subscribers, and by hit I mean I can't believe 2,000 different human beings, minus the bots, actually clicked the subscribe button. Like, you might actually look forward to what I create. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I had this idea that I would make kind of like a bit of a meta voicemail message type audio where I kind of give you a call and share the good news and talk about things that have happened, things that I plan on, and I actually, I recorded it already. It exists. That version exists, and it's going to go in the trash because I was out running errands, and something that you may not know is that I love to thrift. It's not just because buying things used saves money, which that is a decent reason to go thrifting, and it's not just because, well, if I buy something used, then it's not going into the landfill, but it feels kind of like a treasure hunting itch. So anyway, I went thrifting today, and I found this awesome Rainstick. Now, when I say awesome, I don't mean that it's like high quality or rare, because I already found 2 of these on eBay for like $15. Like, they're not that amazing. However, I got it for like probably $2. And oh my god, I picked this up, and the sound to me is so satisfying. And as soon as I heard it, I could not stop turning it and making noise with it. And I mean, just, I know I do ASMR roleplay. I don't do traditional ASMR typically, and I wouldn't even really call this traditional ASMR. I don't have a binaural setup or stereo setup. I have multiple microphones, but all but this one are busted. I do plan on eventually taking them apart and maybe modifying them or fixing them when I have the time and the know-how, but for right now I have one mic. And so I'm sorry you're not going to get the binaural effect of this beautiful Rainstick, but I was so inspired by it. Oh god, I love this sound. So I hope that some of that satisfaction is something that can go through this single microphone for you guys, because I love it so much. So yeah, anyway, I like to thrift, and I found this thing, and it makes such a nice noise that I figured, why not just do the celebration thank audio? I don't know what I'm saying. And I don't plan on editing any of this either. Oh god, I'm so embarrassed. It's not just a thank you audio, because thank you is so deeply inadequate for the feelings I have about you guys. I did want to make the voicemail audio seem a bit more personal and talk to you in a one-on-one kind of individual tone, because I'm on camera now and I'm not totally scripted, and I'm super nervous. I'm probably going to talk to you like you're all in the room with me, so I'm sorry if that breaks a bit of the immersion. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so the whole reason for the audio, besides this lovely cylindrical object, we Sweet Nothings is past 3,000 subscribers. So much faster than I thought would happen. When I first started the channel, I really didn't think that anybody was going to listen, which, I mean, in hindsight, okay, I am a real voice actress. That sounds super, super pretentious to say. But I do have enough skills to be able to produce decent roleplay, so I should have expected at least a few listeners. I didn't. I really thought it was going to bomb and that I would just move on to the next hobby. And, oh my god, my leg just fell asleep. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, forgive me. So when I first started out, I had zero confidence. I had zero confidence in what I was doing, but I just went with it anyway. And a couple of very lovely people immediately were there to support me with kind words and even advice and suggestions. And I mean, if you guys hadn't have been here, Sweet Nothings wouldn't exist. So, like I said, thank you is just so inadequate. But you know, even within creator communities, Discord servers that I'm in, where I get to share my milestones, and say, hey, I finally, you know, reached this number, which, you know, numbers schmumbers, right? Like, that's not the end goal. I mean, that's not why I do this. It's just kind of like I don't know the word I'm looking for. Not canary in the coal mine, because that's a negative thing. What would be the positive version of that? I'm sorry, my 2 brain cells do not want a brain right now. But numbers are not that important, but they're just kind of like a progress check, I guess, to say like, hey, no, you're moving in the right direction. So to go from when I was just amazed that there were maybe 10 subscribers or 15 of you, now there's over 3,000. There's over 3,000. What am I doing? There's over 3,000. Oh my god. Hi. I love you guys. Oh my god. It's absolutely surreal. So it hasn't even been a year, and I kind of wrestled with whether or not to do a celebratory audio at, 1 year since I've been doing this, or hitting certain goalposts. But then I hit 2,000 subscribers. There are 2,000 of you that are looking forward to what I make. Assuming you're not like all bots, which I highly doubt, because you comment and you're talking and you're listening, and it's amazing. So anyway, I promised I would do a special audio, and I had one in mind, and I had it recorded at right when we became 3,000, and I was all embarrassed, like, wow, I said I was gonna do this and I didn't, and now we're way past this, and I'm a mess. And then I found a Rainstick. I feel like I've said this before. This is what happens when I don't have a script. Anyway, it feels like it was just yesterday that I promised to do a 2K audio, and now we're so far past that. It's like I'm turning in my schoolwork late. So anyway, I never thought we would be here, and now I'm just looking forward to Sweet Nothings becoming something even more than it is now. Things have changed so much since I first started this channel. When I first got into ASMR roleplay, I don't want to make this too much of like a chronological storyline and, from small beginnings, kind of a story, because I actually, not that long ago, I was interviewed by an audio podcast, and I kind of went through that whole thing. Hopefully there's not too much crossover, but I got into ASMR roleplay not as a listener, but actually through a voice acting class I took. So a lot of people will get into ASMR roleplays because it's something they listen to, or maybe they like VTubers who do that. I actually didn't even know what a VTuber was until I got into ASMR roleplay. But when I first started, I was like, well, where do I start with beginner scripts? And most of them are comfort scripts. And they're very safe feeling to read and record. So that's kind of how I started things. And I originally thought and planned that Sweet Nothings would be cozy. Oh, excuse my stomach gurgles. In fact, please forgive any weirdness. I do not plan on editing much besides maybe compression and raising levels so that you can hear me properly, because I'm not as close to the mic as I usually am. I'll try to speak a little bit louder. So anyway, please forgive weird stuff. Bodies make weird sounds, and I usually cut so much of it out, and this time, because of how much I'm doing the night before I'm supposed to upload, I probably won't have time. Anyway, and I lost my train of thought. Wow. I got so distracted by my tummy gurgles and weird noises that I just lost. Oh, right. Cozy. I thought it was all going to be cozy. That's all that I gave myself permission to really dabble in, and it's a lot of fun, and people really liked hearing it and listening to those audios, and so that's what I thought I would do. And then there were quite a few scripts, but the one audio that really changed things for me was Joyland Blah's, I believe the original title was I Wanna See Your Fangs, and it was the first darker audio I'd done. And of course that caused me a lot of anxiety because it was so different from everything I'd done before, and most of you guys back then were expecting comfort, and when something darker came along, it was a little jarring, I think. Anyway, I enjoyed the ever-loving stuffing out of that audio and creating it and playing that character, because, I mean, ASMR roleplay and voice acting are so totally different. I have played villains, I have played dark, crappy people, and I enjoy being a villain so much. But with ASMR roleplay, where even if I am by myself, I'm by myself in front of a mic, it still feels very personal. It feels, when I'm acting, I'm still like living truthfully in an imaginary situation, so I am one-on-one with my imaginary listener in front of me, and the darker audios kind of intimidated me a lot. I feel like I am going to have a lot of crossover with that interview. It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, it went from cozy to all of a sudden, here's a vampire audio, and I'm very dominant, and you're just gonna have to deal with whatever I do to you in the audio. And I enjoyed that a lot. And after that, there was a collab that happened with Eris and Cassiopeia, and I am so very thankful and grateful to be able to have been a part of that. And it was so well loved. It's still well loved, and I won't lie, I listened to it Of course, I listen to most of my audios. I am a weirdo that really likes the sound of my own voice. But that collaboration, I mean, a lot of you found me through that one. So thank you so very much for hopping on over here. I hope you enjoy what you've been hearing, and I look forward to making more for you. But yeah, so it's no longer the cozy comfort channel that I thought it would be. I expanded the kinds of scripts that I do, but then there's been even more of a metamorphosis because I hate to rehash the same thing over and over again, but YouTube it seems to be using AI bots to try and crack down on repetitive reused content, and it will label ASMR audio role plays that use public scripts as inauthentic content. I already talked about this. If you've seen that update, I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. It's just context. But anyway, because of that, I went from doing cozy public scripts to different genres of public scripts to writing my own gosh darn scripts. And writing is a whole new animal for me. I've never been much of a writer at all, ever. I love to read. I used to be a huge bookworm. Not as much anymore because I just don't have the free time, and I am one of those people that I get started on a book, and if I like it, which is most of the time because I know the kind of books I like, I just can't put it down until it's done. And so I'll be reading for like 6 hours or 8 hours, like nonstop, like holding the book like in front of me while trying to like do dishes or whatever. It's not good. I won't get any sleep because I can't sleep until I finished it. And then if the book is part of a series and ends on a cliffhanger, like I'm cooked. So I don't read as much anymore, but I am a big reader. However, I've never been a big writer. And it really fills my heart with joy when I see how much you guys enjoy the things that not only have I performed, but I've also created. Like this idea came out of my head. I mean, granted, you could say there are no new ideas. They're just combinations of things that we've been exposed to before, but they're my combinations. And you like them, and it makes me so happy. It really does. So I guess that's kind of like, I guess you could call that like the evolution of Sweet Nothings. Something that I thought would crash and burn before it even became something, to now there are so many of you, so many lovely, wonderful souls listening to this, and it's I mean, granted, I know that there may be 3,000 plus of you subscribed, and this audio video may only get 100 views or whatever, which I really couldn't care less because even that is just insane to me. I'm flabbergasted. I really am, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so humbled that I matter to you guys, and I really hope you can tell in my audios that you matter. I mean, when I'm role playing, I'm talking to you, so you matter. You matter to me, and I'm just so joyful right now. So joyful. Like I might be nervous, but I'm like nervous excitement. It's a happy feeling. I did have a script, and there are some things that I covered. My brain does not want to pray. Did I say all the things that I wanted to say? Hell no. But I don't want to be redundant. I do want to say that I am very grateful for every comment that you've written to me or for me on my audios, even the little ones that just say thank you or, here for the algorithm. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. But every comment, especially when you share what's going on with you or how an audio has made you feel or helped you even, I am not ashamed to say that I have screenshotted and revisited some of those more heartfelt comments when I've had really rough days, rough weeks, when I've been pulling all-nighters multiple nights in a row to try and get stuff out on time, when I've struggled with time management and trying to, tread water as far as all the other things that I do, as well as this endeavor here at Sweet Nothings. It means a lot to me, so I appreciate it, and I try to respond to every comment, at least the ones that make sense to me. Some of them that are just emojis or are weird, I'm sorry. I read them. You weren't ignored. But as far as commenting goes, I do try to respond to everyone. Sometimes I'll get notifications on my phone while I'm out and about or working, and I'll at least give you a little thumbs up and a heart so that you know that I saw it. And it might take me a while to respond because I'm a busy woman. But yeah, I want you to know it means a lot to me, and thank you, and I appreciate all of your kind words. God, I hope the tapping isn't irritating. Oh, I'm sorry. Even if I didn't have the Rainstick, I'd probably be making tapping sounds. I did my nails so that I can do this. I just love the sound so much. Okay, so a little bit of background, I guess. I'm just gonna hop all over the place. I got into ASMR roleplay, like I said, through a voiceover course. I've taken many classes, and that one introduced me to ASMR roleplay. I hadn't heard of it before I'd heard of ASMR. There's an old update somewhere when I first started Sweet Nothings where I mentioned that for the longest time I could not get to sleep without listening to traditional ASMR. I really liked tapping stuff. Is it obvious? So, like, there's massage ASMR. He had that one like 6.1 or something, and then there was the one where it was like on a planet, and there was no talking. He had crinkle soap. I don't know what it is about the crinkle soap and the road packets, but that was so satisfying. And for the longest time, like between that and I think it's gentle whispering. I mean, like they're like the goats of traditional ASMR because I listened to ASMR before ASMR was even a term. In fact, my first real, like, this is doing something weird that I really like kind of ASMR experience was back when I was a teenager. I had a CD by Regina Spektor called Soviet Kitsch, and there is a track, it's not a song, it's just a track where she's whispering to her little brother, and I don't know what it was about that track. I would listen to it over and over again. I felt like such a weirdo. Like, I felt like a creep for wanting to listen to this whispered track over and over and over again. I'd have it on loop and I'd fall asleep to it. And that was well before ASMR was even a thing. I guess I'm kind of outing myself as an elderly person. My voice might sound young sometimes, but I'm actually not that young. So as far as ASMR is concerned, I got into ASMR as, like, before it was a thing, and as soon as it was a thing, I was just like, yes, that's what it is. I like that. And I listened to it nonstop to the point where I couldn't sleep without it. And it was only maybe, I don't know how many years ago it was, but I eventually kind of put my foot down to myself and was like, no, we need to be able to get to sleep without listening to something. And so I quit cold turkey, which sounds silly because, oh, you can't be addicted to sounds. It's not going to disrupt your life that much. But it was kind of just a personal thing for me to be able to prove to myself that I didn't really need it. And I got there. And I still listen to ASMR now, but it's for pleasure. It's for joy. You know, it's not for, I can't sleep without this. I can't exist without this. And that's not to shame anyone that's in that situation right now. If you can't fall asleep without hearing a certain sound, I don't want you to think that there's anything wrong with you. Like I said, it was just a personal goal, a personal journey for me. So, again, if I bring you comfort and help you get to sleep, then that brings me joy, and I'm just happy to have helped you in some way. That brings me a lot of joy. So anyway, traditional ASMR is actually what I knew about first, and it's kind of cool that it's come full circle here. I mean, the video is probably going to be garbage. The audio isn't binaural or stereo, but this is probably the closest I'm ever going to get to traditional ASMR. I hope you guys enjoy this. I know that it's not role play, although it's still one-on-one. I am talking to you in the microphone and having a conversation with the you in my head. I have gone so far off the rails as far as what I planned on talking about. Oh, that probably sounded terrible. I'm sorry. Was there anything else that I was going to talk about? I've been holding off actually doing the rain sounds because they're going to be very harsh. I love the sound itself. I might have to adjust things after the fact once I listen to my recording, because when I was playing around, I practiced beforehand to see what it would sound like. It was some parts are very quiet and some parts are very loud, so I don't want to do this, which that's very quiet. I don't want to do this while I'm talking. I don't think you'd be able to hear me. Man, I know I'm being kind of quiet. Oh, sorry, I'm getting all achy again. I'm so elderly. My poor knees, my poor back. So anyway, I'm going to kind of tack the rain sounds on at the end, because I want to be able to be heard, but there will be rain sounds, and by rain sounds, I mean Rainstick sounds, which is so funny because it was actually raining earlier before I started recording. I'm like, oh man, I got the Rainstick, but it's already raining, I don't need to use it anymore, but it's already died off. Oh, sorry, I'm shrimp check. This script is never gonna see the light of day. I kind of touched on the new characters, the ones that I've written. I hope you like the Lucy's. I love the Lucy's. Oh, I love them so much. Lou-C, Lucy, welcome back, Commander. Oh, I love her so much. I love her so much, and I have so many plans. I've been stuck on episode 2, and actually not because of the script. I've already recorded the dang thing 3 times, maybe 4, because my voice just would not do the voice thing, and it was either too low and relaxed, or it was a little too bright, and I had done my vocal exercises, I had taken my deep breaths, but I just, the delivery wasn't where I wanted it, and I think that I was letting perfectionism get to me too much, so I've put off letting that episode out. I re-recorded the whole darn thing in a bit of a brighter voice. I'm very anxious about having episodes that are inconsistent voice-wise, so I'm supposed to be editing that right now, but Rainstick happened. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get that out. I can't make any promises right now. Life has been very busy, and the only time I've had to work on audio has been very late at night. And, of course, staying up late means that I wake up late, so then I don't have time in the morning to work on anything. So it's a bit of a struggle right now, but I'm working on it. Anyway, Lucy and Commander do have another episode. It is technically, like, the sound effects are even done. Everything's in place. It's just me, I'm sorry. Then the next character I made was Lockhart, which she might come up on Sweet Nothings with her next audio. She's a vampire club owner, jazz singer, and I don't know why I made her that way, but that's just she popped up like that in my head, and I have ideas for her, and the first one had a lot of kissing in it, and right when I made that audio, there were multiple ASMR creators who were getting dinged for inappropriate content, let's say, even though they hadn't done anything, and they're like, well, I had a kiss in here or a kiss over there, maybe that was what did it. And I love smoochies. I love giving kisses. I love kissing sounds. Well, I don't like to listen to them as much as I like to make them, but that's a me thing. Anyway, so that first episode, it's gonna have to stay on Patreon. So Lockhart is a thing. Her second episode is outlined, not written. Because I have to get through Lucy, Lou-C first. After Lockhart, I created Lucille, and Lucille is kind of my outlet for my love for the weird and the strange. Somebody mentioned it giving kind of Twin Peaks vibes, and I cannot tell you how happy that comment made me. I'm just yes, I wasn't even thinking about Twin Peaks when I was coming up with the stories, but it totally is. Like, I need to have I'm thinking Deadly Premonitions with the Log Lady, but like a spoof similar to that. Oh, it'd be so funny. I love that stuff. In fact, I'm actually like a huge horror fan. I try to work a little bit of that into stories when I can without making them too dark. If you listened to the Valentine's episode, the script was technically commissioned. Actually, it was done for free, but it was offered to be done for me. So the aspects within it are mostly from prompts that I gave the writer. And one of the things that I said I really wanted to include was something about Lovecraft, and I thought that maybe getting like a first edition of a Weird Tales would be nice to include, because I don't want to get into who Lovecraft was as a person, because that's I can't do anything about that. I fell in love with Lovecraftian stories and eldritch horrors before I knew anything about that, and somebody being an asshole does not make me love the genre any less. Anyway, so when you hear those things worked into the stories, it's because it's me. I do have a scrapped. I have a scrapped lore story, I guess you could say. Lore as in the story behind my character, not Lore the writer. Lore the writer is a very talented writer, and I love the scripts that he writes. But no, OC Lore. So the idea was that Lucy isn't actually the lady in the art. It's just the hair, and the hair just hops onto a woman's head and like controls them because it's like a giant red hair tentacle alien thing. Anyway, she was supposed to be kind of like an eldritch horror instead of like, you know, Cthulhu or Shoggoth, or I can't remember their names because I'm a poser. I haven't read Lovecraft in a long time, actually. I have a whole volume of them, and I keep not going back to them. But anyway, Lucy was going to be an eldritch horror that was just hair that hopped onto people's heads and controlled them. Obviously scrapped because it didn't fit the cozy vibe at the time, and now, even though I do all kinds of genres, it still doesn't really fit my vibe. But there you go, a little nugget of past Lucy history. So we had Ludash-C, we had Lockhart, then we have Lucille, who kind of helps scratch that itch for me for the weird and the strange and the scary-ish. And then there's Luce, and that, I obviously fell in love with the succubus and the demon scripts because I filled like 4 or 5 of them, all like one after the other. Which one of those was lore script? And I do like that. I mean, not the NSFW side of things. That's not really something I do. But the succubus characters, because they're it's not just lust, it's physical affection and attention and personal attention, and I just, you know, I like to mix things up a little. So instead of being the scary, you know, you're mine, mortal, I got to play around with making her kind of a little inept, which I like imperfect characters so much. They're more compelling and relatable, and I had so much fun playing Luce, and I might be making one final character under the Lucy Lockhart umbrella. I think her name might be Lucia. I'm not sure, but there have been whispers of desire for puppy scripts, and I mean, that would also cover, I would be doing kitty listeners and or NECA listeners, depending on what you like to be called. You're just pretty kitties to me. But yeah, so maybe to have more of the F-Dom stuff fall under that if I write those scripts. I actually wrote a puppy script back before I was serious about script writing, and I cringed so hard when I read it after writing it that I didn't make it into an audio. So anyway, I may revisit that. We'll see. Oh man, I think there's a plane or something I hear humming in the background. I mean, there's already fans and stuff because it's so darn hot. So it's not like my noise floor is super clean, but man, planes, come on, give me a break. Yeah, so anyway, those are the characters that I've come up with, and I love them so much, and I hope you love them too. Oh, that's right. I said I was hopefully going to upload 2 audios, and I could try. I mean, if I can manage to stay awake that long, and I don't know if I'll have time tomorrow. I have a lot of things that I have to do, and this weekend's kind of slammed. But sorry, shim check. What I planned on doing was remaking the first audio I ever did, which was by Coda Soul, I think is actually how it's supposed to be said. I said Coda X Solus because that was how the username looked to me at the time when I read their script. It's Coda X Solus, but then their Twitter says Coda Soul. I don't know. You beautiful writer, you. Thank you for your script because it opened up Sweet Nothings into what it is. You are wonderful. I already re-recorded the voice lines, and I could use the sound effects from the first one. I'm not sure if I will or not. The idea was that I was going to remake it. And I'm partway there, but definitely not there enough to be able to get it out by tomorrow. Editing is so taxing. Oh my goodness. I mean, being behind the mic gives me energy. Like, I love this. I feel so alive. Writing is a little bit different because it's starts out as daydreaming, which is nice, but then I have to try and get those internal picture movies and put them into words, which is not the easiest for me. And I know it's not that way for everybody. I remember reading, I can't remember what the term is, but some people can see things in their head, and some people cannot actually visualize things like images in their mind. I think I'm definitely heavily on the can side of the spectrum or visual side of the spectrum because, like, I have whole movies playing in my head. When I read stories and books, like, I tend to not even remember the words once I'm going through the book because it's just one big movie to me. So as far as writing, it's similar. It's, oh, sorry, my leg's falling asleep again. It's kind of like I just daydream and I see it in my head, but turning what I see in my head into words, and then taking those words, which are really just like descriptions of scenes at first, and making them into dialogue, and then not just dialogue, but then chopping out half the dialogue, and somehow still making a story coherent with only one side. It's definitely not as energizing as performing, but editing. Editing it can be fun, and it is fun when I get the satisfaction of something falling into place exactly how it should. But it takes a very long time, and I listen to my voice over and over and over again, which I do like the sound of my own voice, but after a while, I'm not even hearing what I'm saying anymore because I'm just listening for mouth clicks, or did I leave the breath at the end of that line when it should have been at the front of the next line, or should I just take it out? Do I sound like I'm a fish gasping for air there? And then I'm listening for like weird sounds in the background, like, birds or planes or trucks going by because I'm not in a soundproof room. So editing is not my favorite part of things. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite. I'm not gonna complain too much because I do enjoy parts of it. But it takes a long time, so the second audio that I wanted to get out is not going to happen at the same time as this one because this one is very minimal editing. I won't cut anything out. I'm just going to adjust some audio levels if I'm too quiet. As well as maybe, I know that when I go to sync this with the video, it's not going to It's not going to line up the same. There's like some weird time dilation between video and just audio. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure somebody smarter in the audience can teach us. But so I may have to account for that. That might be part of the editing, but it won't be like there's no having to cut out takes and line them up and add sound effects, because this is my sound effect right here. I can't wait to start using this. I'm so impatient to start moving it around. I love it so much. Gosh, I've been talking forever. Wow, whoa. This video alone is almost an hour, and I also have some little bits when I was setting up beforehand using my cell phone. Oh my word. Well, I don't know. This is new for me. I think I might shut up now and play with the Rainstick, and I don't know, maybe I'll think of some other things that I need to address before I let go. I was thinking of holding maybe a little giveaway. If that's something you guys would be interested in, of doing some personalized audios, which I haven't done before, so he'd be helping me. I was thinking of doing up to 3 different people, or offering 3 different people. Oh god, that sounded terrible. I did not mean that. I mean 3 audios for different people. My brain's not braining. Just like, a couple of minutes max of a personalized audio, just so I can get some practice in for that, because it is something that I offer on Ko-fi, but I've never done a personalized ASMR roleplay audio for anyone before. So if you want to be my firsts, that would be kind of fun, I hope. I didn't want to do like a random raffle or anything, but I was thinking of just, if you're interested, let me know in the comments, and instead of the whole like, subscribe, and comment to enter, it doesn't matter if you're a subscriber or anything, and you don't even have to like the audio, but if you want to share maybe a favorite moment from one of my role plays, or just part of Sweet Nothings that you like, and let me know you're interested, you can do that or not. Anyway, I think that was most of everything. So, I mean, you can click away now if you want, or you can chill out while I play around with my Rainstick. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy. might have to pause for just 1 second. Oh my, okay. So there were some technical difficulties and interruptions, and I have repeated myself so many times I couldn't remember if I'd said everything in the last iteration. So we're going to start from the top, so to speak. If you're even still here, this is quite a long audio. One, technical difficulties were, the files got so big that my computer barfed and kind of froze mid-recording. And then, when I did start recording again, I realized that the audio in the video is just as clean and clear as the audio that was in my DAW. And I had been recording the audio alongside the video, thinking that the video's, oh goodness, tongue twister, the video's audio quality was not going to be nearly as good because for some reason I had it in my head that it was going to be recording through the computer microphone and not the microphone that is literally plugged into it. I don't know why I thought that, but anyway, so I don't need to be recording in the DAW in order to have my audio sound nice, well, or at least not sound like a laptop microphone. However, I exited the DAW and stopped recording in it because I thought I'd save on file size and storage space, not having to record basically 2 sets of audio. And then my computer screen kept dimming, which my computer screen, the backlight's basically what is lighting me up for the most part, besides a little bit of light in the background. Without it, I am quite dim. And it kept turning off, and I couldn't figure out why because it wasn't in the display settings. And then I realized because I closed the DAW, there weren't any programs or applications that were being utilized nonstop. So the computer kept thinking that nothing was happening and it should dim. And while I couldn't find anywhere in the settings to tell it to stop dimming, even if I'm not doing anything, I realized I could just start recording in the DAW again to keep the lights on. So I will probably just scrap that audio when I'm done because I'm only using it to keep the backlight on. So yes, technical difficulties aside, sorry, there's like a stain here now that wasn't there before. I think it's because I'm so sweaty, like I'm so, oh, it's so gross. Recording spaces, especially small ones, get so hot so quickly, and it's already quite warm even though it's very late or very early, depending on how you see things. Heat waves have been a thing, and I'm quite warm, and my space right now is not much different from Harry Potter's room under the stairs. So, small space, lots of heat and humidity. I am a sweaty mess. I apologize for not being perfectly clean. Anyway, I did want to say that I do not plan on making traditional ASMR part of my main offerings here on Sweet Nothings because it is not roleplay. I do love this Rainstick so much, and if it is something you want to hear more of, I need you to let me know. Because I'm just gonna, I won't put it in a closet and leave it because I'm probably gonna play with this like nonstop. But I won't be recording with it unless you want me to. I won't be doing video for the most part though because recording video takes up so much space and obviously my computer just cannot handle it. My leg is already falling asleep. I'm so fidgety. Yeah. Have I said it yet in this rendition? I don't know what I'm doing. So, all of
all of that aside, now that I'm pretty sure I've covered everything that was covered, maybe about 5 separate times now, all I want to do is provide you with some uninterrupted Rainstick sounds. You know, I think I geeked out a little bit on Rainsticks in one of them, and I didn't mention anything about it now, but I don't remember. I don't think it's in the main recording. Okay, so I'll cover that real quick and then I'll shut up, I swear. As much as I love tapping sounds and tapping on things, the sensation of tapping things with my nails is actually more satisfying to me than the sound itself. I know it's not going to sound nearly as good to you guys because I've got only one microphone right now. I've toyed around with the idea of maybe getting something similar to a 3DO setup. There are other cheaper options out there than a 3DO. But I wasn't really sure if it was all that necessary for roleplays. I typically export in mono anyway to save on, you guessed it, storage space. So it's like one of the many different kinds of mics that I kind of just hold off on getting because I can't justify it yet. I don't think I'll use it that much. But I think it would be fun to play around with. Another, I guess I'll geek out on mics this time. Another mic that I want to get. There's two. I want to get a shotgun mic so that I can record my own footsteps because I am so tired of looking for footstep sound effects and having to make bad sound effects for footsteps work. And I don't mean to say that the people recording them did a bad job. I'm sure they did the best they could, but I have a hard time getting them to mesh with my audio because the background noise is usually so bad or the reverberation is bad. Something is telling me that I probably should have brought a cup of water in here, but I don't like to have drinks around my electronics. I will definitely not include that cough. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And now other weird sounds. Bodies are just so gross sometimes. I'm sorry. Anyway, so right now I'm using an XLR condenser microphone. I'm actually not really talking into the correct part of it right now because I wanted it to face here, like the Rainstick. So normally I'd be somewhere around here, but I also don't want to hurt my back. It's already getting a little sore. So anyway, XLR condenser microphone, which is what I've been using for quite a while. I did start out on a USB, not a Blue Yeti or a Snowball like so many people start out with. I don't even know how I came to the conclusion of getting the microphone that I got. I looked on Amazon, I watched review videos, but I ended up with basically some no-name USB dynamic microphone, and it sounded very muddy, but I was just starting out with voice acting and didn't know what I was doing, so anyway. Right now I'm using a condenser. I've gone through a few. This is the one that I have right now. You may notice that my sibilance is a little harsh sometimes. I don't like to use de-essers because I'm just not good enough at using them without sounding like I'm lisping or it doesn't do enough and there's really no change. I just don't have that magic touch with the de-esser yet. So there are definitely times with when my sibilance, my s, is very harsh, and I try to adjust the way that I talk so it's more of a s sound. Not quite lispy, but somewhere between a regular S and an airy S, which is kind of boring, I guess, to talk about. But anyway, so I have this microphone, and I would like to eventually get a shotgun mic for sound effects that need a very precise window of sound, such as footsteps. There's also a microphone that I would like to get eventually, which it's not really a microphone. It's these interesting little earbud things that also record while you listen from the ear level, I believe. Or you can plug them into a portable microphone, like I think they're called Zoomcasters. I've never worked with one, but a lot of people use them to record ambiance, because I live in a place where I could get some really good ambiance. Can you tell I like that word? It sounds so fancy. Ambiance. Anyway, besides that, then obviously a binaural or stereo style microphone would be really cool. But like I said, most of those things have very specific uses, so it's not something I can really like, I need to get it right now. It's more of like a, yeah, okay, someday in the future. But I think that you'll find with most voice actors in the ASMR roleplay space, footstep sound effects are the bane of our existence. It is so hard to find good, clean footsteps that either don't have too much reverb or have enough reverb and don't have too much background noise. Because, yeah, it's like finding I don't know. It's very hard to find very nice footstep sound effects. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just stating a fact. So someday, all of my footsteps will be self-recorded. And you will find that they always sound like heels, because I only ever wear heels. I'm usually either barefoot or heels. I don't wear sneakers very often. Actually, ever. I don't wear sneakers anymore. I do wear flats, obviously, because heels all the time really is impractical, and I can't go barefoot everywhere either. But I like my fancy shoes. How did this become a shoe conversation? Oh, footsteps, and I was talking about mics. I really should just shut up and make Rainstick sounds. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up now, I swear. I never thought I would be so talkative. I was convinced I would not be able to fill more than 10 minutes of space with talking, and here I am still not shutting up. Okay, rain sounds.
Oh no. Okay, I'll edit that out. Oh my goodness. Oh, I did it again. Oh my goodness, I'll back up. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm not sure what my favorite part of this is, getting to tap on it or getting the little straggler pebbles down.